Good day, friends. New project in today, and it's the first one I've had for a little while because I've been concentrating on some of my own guitars in the last couple of weeks. But I've had a rush of guitars come in this week, and it is one of them. And I've never had one of these in before. I've had the brand name in before, but I've not had this model in before. And let's have a look at that. Went, oh, it's like a Les Paul, except with them three knobs like that. It's not like a Les Paul. Would you be right? It's a limited. So it's a ESP Limited version, made in China, a single cut Les Paul kind of guitar, specifically the EC-256 model. Pickups, I don't know what they are, so I'd imagine the ESP's own. I'd imagine you have 2 volumes and 1 tone on here, though I have not checked it. And this is a brand new guitar, but I know it came in as a B-stock guitar, and the reason it's a B-stock is there's a big chip gouge somewhere right here. Oh, there it is, a big chip gouge there. So I'm going to seal that with some super glue. We're not going to fix it up or anything, no need to. Thinnish body, certainly thinner than a Les Paul. It's thinner than a studio. Nice bit of weight to it, medium weight. Pickups are a bit low, but I already know, I've been across with the fret rocker when the owner was here, and we do have 4 or 5 rocking frets, and that was the neck that's with the neck as it is. I've not even straightened the neck yet, so what we're going to do is I'm going to get it plugged in, give it a little sound test. I'm going to take the strings off, and we will get the neck dead straight, and we'll go across with the fret rocker. We'll get a not straight edge across the fingerboard. I don't know what scale length it is. Is it going to be 23 3/4? So 23 3/4 scale length. There's only a little bit of relief in there. If I loosen I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to loosen these strings off just a little bit, get that neck straight, and we'll go across with the fret rocker right now. So bear with me a few seconds. I only need to just really slightly loosen these strings. It's a great tip for if you want to just go across with not straight edge. Just loosen your strings slightly and it'll take that relief out. Let's have a look again, 24 3/4 side. And there you go. We've got the neck straight. That's brilliant. So we're going to get the fret rocker. We're going to go across the frets right now. Bear with me a second. Just need to close this door. Fantastic. So, in effect, you're watching all this live as I do it. Fret rocker, G&W, expensive one, laser cut, perfectly flat edges. And we're going to turn the camera while you're here. Blah de blah. And there's that. Looking pretty good there, do you think? That'll look pretty good. We'll just bring this more central to the camera. That's pretty good. Pretty pleased with that. Right, very good. So, we will just get a marker pen just to mark if there are any high spots. Check that the neck is straight. And a tiny bit of relief in there. We'll just loosen these strings off again. Should definitely be there now. Beautiful. Straight neck, job done. So we're going to go across with fret rocker, 3 areas, centre, outside, inside, and tiny bit of rock there on the outside of fret 2. I don't think this needs a fret level, but it certainly the frets need attention. So we're just going with an intensive setup. With an intensive setup, you get everything done that is included in a regular setup. With an intensive setup, you also get 5 frets worked on and recrowned, levelled and recrowned. Here's one. There you go. I'll work on 5 frets and the electrics. If you need any more than 5 frets doing, you're going to have to go for fret level, which is a whole different ball game. And there's already 3. We're not going to go for fret level because these are so slight. I already said to him if it's 7 or 8, I will still charge you for an intensive setup rather than a complete fret level. Because we're not going to go with a complete fret level. Tie in the middle and on the edge. Just put a little dot on there. because these are only a tiny bit high. Two of them aren't, two of them are quite high, yeah. We've already got, that's already 5 frets. I'll go to do this just by spot levelling with a file rather than doing the lot with a levelling beam. Very, very tiny. It's a shame that guitars come out of factories like this. But so far, so good. We're not doing too bad. There's no real high frets. There are 2 high frets. There's a little bit of a rock on there. But like I say, nothing major. You normally get them at this end where the neck meets the body. It's a high one. But this is really not that bad. This one's a high one in the middle. Check the edge. I will get a better check when I remove the string. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 high spots over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we've got more. We've got 9 high spots over 8 frets, I believe. There's 2 on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But this is not, this is only, I mean, it's not major. That's quite high. It's a little bit high. There's really not a lot in some of these. I'm not going to go for a fret over there, absolutely no need. I've just been accused by someone whose guitar did a fret level on. He was here when I tested his frets, and I showed him 7 high frets, and he's accused me of doing a fret level where one was not needed. He's complained and blah blah blah. I did tell him if he's not happy with work, I will sort his guitar out, but he didn't do that. He took it to another luthier or another tech somewhere. I've done about 4 or 5 guitars for him over the years, knocked him loads of money off, whatever. Anyway, he accused me last night of doing a fret level. He didn't actually accuse me blatantly straight out with it, but he sort of hinted at me saying I'd done this fret level, it didn't really need doing. I says, "You're fucking joking." I says, "I checked 7 frets while you're here, down this end, and they were rock. I showed you where they were rocking." Anyway, so I've unfriended him, he's gone away, he won't be coming back. But I'm not having people question my integrity, you know. So he's gone, and good riddance to him is what I say. But end of the day, this is why I film everything. That's why everything gets filmed. This guitar does need 8 frets, need slight attention. They're not super high, but they still need the work. So I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to tune it back up, get it plugged in, check the electrics, and then what we'll do is we'll get the strings off. I'll move the camera, we'll go across again with fret rocker, and I'll mark these frets out properly. Okay, so I've looked the guitar over a little bit more and noticed a little bit of scratching or marks down at this end of the fingerboard. Do you not see it where you are right now? But it normally looks like file work, you know, when you slipped off a fret when leveling frets. But I don't know, I'll show this, I'll be able to show it when the guitar is upright. I'll try and show it now. There you go, you might just see it. On these 3 frets with some score lines going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just in these areas. I can't see because I've got the, I'm looking out at the window and I've got glare from the window. So if you just look down here, and down here, some little marks in there. Maybe you can see them, I don't know. Anyway, guitar, just marking up where the guitar is, finger there, just so we can see the whole fingerboard. And I have removed the truss rod cover. I've altered the truss rod ever so slightly, just so we go perfectly straight on the neck, and there we go. I'm just going to check that we are perfectly straight. There's no tension on the truss rod. That is perfectly straight, that neck. Got a little dip at this end, which is normal. We're just going to, wrong one, bear with, truss rod tool, 4mm. Just going to make sure we shouldn't have any tension on that truss rod. We have, it's a two-way truss rod, and that is no tension right there. That's where we are. So the neck should now be straight on a new guitar. And it is. And that is beautiful. So I'm going to go across again with the fret rocker. I'm going to determine where we've got high spots. Just on that far edge, which we've already marked off. Should be fine, and it is. Mark this one off before, tiny bit on that edge there. If possible, we could just tap those with a fret hammer and they'll be fine. Or in the middle there, this is the high one I was looking at when he was here. So that's right across that one. So we've already got 3. But there. That's fine. Just on that edge there. So we've not got a lot of problems so far. Normal for a new guitar. Just a tiny bit on here. So we've got 4 frets already. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will come across again with the fret rocker. That's a tiny bit. I could just be able to basically wipe the file across that and sort that one out. In the middle of that one. Like I say, straightening the neck out properly. A couple of bits that were showing high before are now not. A tiny bit just in the middle there. So we have absolutely nothing major at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frets with high spots. The thing is, the rocking on some of these is that low. I'm able to just spot file this really quick and do it all with a file rather than doing a whole level across the lot. So we're not going to up the price. I'm going to include this in the price of an intensive setup, and then we'll check the frets again. If you listen, one, 2, 3, tiny spot on there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, on one here 9. That's hardly registering. So let's go with 9 frets, need a little bit of spot leveling. All I'm going to have to do is just brush the file across most of these, couple of strokes, and just re-crown the top. This one needs a bit more work, and this one down there needs a bit more work. So I'm going to include all of this in the price of an intensive setup, which would cost you £75. That's a complete player setup, which is the nut, cut and radius, the neck set, the action set, the intonation set, pickup height, all the electrics checked that they're working fine. I've already checked the electrics, the tuners all tensioned and retightened and checked. Everything electrical, the strap pins are all done. That is basically a player setup. It will include a restring as well. You pay for strings yourself. When it comes to an intensive setup, you also get your electrics overhauled. That means resoldering, reflowing solder, rewiring, and you get up to 5 frets leveled and re-crowned, and the whole lot will be placed. That also includes complete polishing of all the frets and a neck oil treatment. The extras in an intensity setup are the electrics being soldered and all of the frets, and not all of the frets, up to 5 frets being re-crowned and polished. So he's going to get the full bit, well worth the price. I have 8 frets to do, so I'm going to crack on with that. Once I've done that, we'll get the camera back into a normal place. Let me show my face while I'm here. Once I've done all that, got all these frets done and got them all polished, we'll get the camera back into a normal angle and we'll get some strings on and we'll get it set up. I do believe this is going to be set up in drop C. Was it drop C, or did he say drop C flat? Or was it C standard? Nice, I'm going to get in touch with him. So I'm going to drop Connor, his name is. I'm going to drop Connor a text, ask him what tuning he wants, and we're going to crack on and we'll have this one done this afternoon. Back soon, guys. Good morning, guys, and it certainly is morning. It has just gone 5 AM. I've been awake since 4 o'clock, so I thought I may as well get up and do something. And here we are, and I have the frets all polished, or levelled and polished, and I'm ready to remove the tape. But we're just going to go across with the fret rocker, just make sure that all the frets are level. And I checked them last night, and I'm pretty sure they are level, but let's see how the guitar has sat overnight and see if anything's popped out again. And yeah, it's 5 AM, and I'll tell you the reason I'm up, and I'm pretty excited today because, well, my wife got up at 4 o'clock, she wasn't too well, and I've made sure she's alright, made her a cup of tea and everything and settled her back in bed. And, but I'm also going out today to buy a American Standard Telecaster, and I've been offered 2. I've been offered really good prices on both of them, and I don't know which one to have yet, so I'm going to go and look at a couple. And I'm getting them for like half price, so I'm pretty excited about that because they're in great condition. But anyway, let's check the frets here. And I'm sure these are all fine. And it's looking like objective achieved. Tiny little bit high on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just can happen when it's set overnight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just on this edge here. That feels pretty good. And we're just taking a tiny little bit off that top there. So number 5, yeah, check back number 4, check forward number 6. This could happen if, say for instance, I tapped a couple of them down with a fretting hammer, just in case any weren't seated right, and that was one that wasn't seated right and it's popped back up, so, or maybe it's one I missed. But anyway, we're looking fantastic. Very good, so I'm happy so far that these are all level. A couple of other little things I've got to do. The 3-way selector switch is a little bit wonky. I'm going to straighten that. It's a tiny bit high, this one, just on. On this edge here. I'm just going to come across this way, it's the tiniest amount, so that will be fine for right now. And we're there. Go back and check number 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it was looking just on this edge. Tiniest bit of rock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 5 and number 21, we'll just get this polished. Like I say, it's always best to let it sit overnight and come back in the morning and check again, especially if you had to tap a couple in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you go, we're all good. We're all good. So that's the frets all levelled, they are all polished up. And I'm going to sort this switch out. I'll glue a bit underneath, I'll get some strings on, and we'll come back and we'll recut the nut. And once we've recut the knot, got that to where we need it to be, we'll tune it all in, stretch the strings, and we'll be good to go. So we're now getting towards the end of this setup, and the guitar's been restrung. I've stretched the strings and tuned to pitch. Pitch in this one being C standard tuning, and I'm ready to cut the knot. And you'll see, well, you probably won't see, but here the nut slots are way high. We are almost 2 millimeters. Well, it's at least 1.5 millimeters higher than it needs to be. So we're going to carve into each slot, and I'll be using my Osco nut slot files. I'm using the widest one. I've got a 1046 set, so the 46 side here, but we've got a 54 string. So when I go in and cut this, I'll be wiggling side to side just to widen that slot. And it doesn't want to push forward, so I'm going to coax it to push forward in a minute. It means the slot is binding a little. Crappy plastic knot. Let's just try and get something moving. There you go. And it won't take a lot of cutting to get this knot done, so I'm going to check every few strokes. Because we go too deep, we need to replace the knot. Still very high. But this is one of these jobs, you've really got to take your time with this. About getting there. And the knot is going to look rough until I remove all the strings and reshape the top. I think we're just about there on this. And the reason we need to cut the knot is when the slots are too high, when we press down at the F or in the F shape area, if we're taking this as E, that's F, you're going to be sharp on the F, it's going to be close to an F sharp, right up till you get to about G, you're still going to be pretty sharp, so we need to get them nice and low. I'm going with 0.4 millimeters above the first fret on this one for now. I will drop it to about 0.3 later. But I'm just looking for a buzz. Which I've got there. Now for 0.3 that, shouldn't be any buzz. Tiny bit. Perfect. Now I need to stretch the string in. Should be flat now. Happy with that. That string is not too high, so nice and steady with this one. We'll go with the 36 gauge, even though it's a 42 string, and what we'll do is we'll just, again, wiggle it slightly to the side, just to bring that slot wider. We don't need to remove a lot from this one, so nice and steady. You're getting the idea. And it can be quite tempting to actually go a bit more gung-ho, but don't, keep going nice and steady. You know, like I say, if you remove too much material, you've got to replace the nut. But take your time. You'll know when you're cutting. I've dropped to a 0.3 gauge here. I could go as low as 0.2 on that one if I wish, which I'll probably go 0.2 all the way along now. Don't want to go much lower than that. I could go to 0.1 down there, but because we're on a lower tuning, a drop tuning, I think 0.2 is pretty much enough. I'm pretty good with that. So we will get a tuner on there, and we'll keep checking the tuning while we're going to stretch the strings in again anyway. Go for a drop C, so we'll move on to the last file. This one being a 0.026 of an inch gauge. We are a little bit high on there. We need to widen this to about a 32, so we're going to do the same again. Just slightly widening the slot. And we're there. Now we're getting that lovely ringing drop tuning. So that is a C chord, drop C. There you hear a little buzz there. It always buzzes if you don't pluck right on. There you go. That's where you would play with strings, between the two pickups. I was playing up the neck. It will cause a bit of buzz. Play where you're meant to play, and it's fine. So that's it. These three done. I'm going to do the next three strings, and that will be it. Once that's done, we'll set the intonation, we'll set the string height above the 12th fret, and we'll get the truss rod set, and we'll get the truss rod cover on there, and the guitar will be good to go. I will come back when we're finished. with the nut now cut, we're going to move on to the intonation. And I've just checked this and it's pretty much bang on. In fact, I think it is bang on. But what we're going to do is we're going to check. Open note C, 12th fret. Good there. G. Good. C. Good. F. F. A. Looked a tiny bit short, but we're just gonna lengthen the A string, which to us is the B string because it's a drop tune in, and I'll just lengthen that slightly. Perfect. And the last string, or the E string as we call it, it's actually tuned to D. D. And that's it, the guitar is in tune and the intonation is done. All I need to do now is set the truss rod for the right amount of relief. We'll put a little bit more relief in because we've got a drop tune in. See how we are there? That is absolutely perfect, I'm happy with that. I could go just a wee bit more. I'm just going to loosen by that much. It's about 1/8 of a turn. Beautiful. Just going to check again for relief. I would like about 0.2. Whoops, we don't like that happening. Around about 9th fret. 0.2, 0.25 will be good. Just a little bit more. I think we'll go about maybe 0.3 there. For a drop tuning, that's pretty good. Let's go with 0.3 at the 9th fret. And there you go, perfect. That's where we want it, just touching. Try and hold it there. A little bit more than I want, so I'm going to tighten the truss rod again. We don't want that falling on a guitar. Now luckily it falls straight off a guitar on one of these types. It doesn't cause any scratching or damage because it doesn't hit there. So let's have a look where we are again. And that looks pretty much bang on to me. Yeah, we're bang on there. 0.25 at the 9th fret, that's exactly what we want. Check the tuning again, I might actually drop down just a little. I don't know why it is, but when you lay a guitar down, the tuning always seems a little bit sharp. So I will get it in playing position and tune it in properly shortly. So we're all good there. All I need to do now is check the action at the 12th fret. But because we're going with a drop tune in, I'm looking for about 2mm on the 12th fret. Now at the moment we are we're just above 2mm on the low E. We're about 1.7 on the high E. So I'm just going to drop the bridge. We're looking at about 1.6 on the high E and just under 2mm on the right. We're at 1.5 on the high, so we're going to come back. Check my word for it, I'm checking the high at the moment, 12th fret, 1.6, and there you go, about 1.9 on the low E. I'm very happy with that setup. Again, and there you go, we have the guitar set up. All I need to do now is put a truss rod cover on there, heighten the frets, the pickups, bring them up to where I need them to be, about 3mm below the strings, about 2mm below the strings where the strings are pressed down, about 3mm with the strings loose as they are, and that will be the guitar done. One more thing I'll need to do afterwards is tighten the strap pins, and that is done. It's just gone 6:30 in the morning and we are finished. So this guitar had 1 hour last night, it's had just about 1.5 hours this morning, and it's all done. It has had a complete setup. Tuned to C standard with a set of 1154 strings. It's like I say, it's had the complete setup. It's had some frets levelled, 8 frets needed attention, 7 frets levelled, recrowned and polished. It's had the full bit, and I have good news for Connor because he didn't know this and I forgot all about it. It's a brand new guitar, and when I do a brand new guitar, I do a special deal only on brand new guitars, and you get a setup for £15 off. So this is not going to cost him 75 quid, it's going to cost him 60 quid. That's £35 for the setup instead of 50 and £25 extra for the fretwork. So he's going to be really pleased. I've cut the nut as well. In hindsight, maybe we could have changed the nut. We'll look at doing that later. Cheapy, plasticky nut. Not fantastic, but it is cut perfectly. So that is this one done. And what a fine guitar it is. It is a limited, well, it's an ESP Ltd EC-256, which I don't know what he paid for it, but you know, I'm sure he got a good price. The setup is bang on. I've got the action on the 12th fret on the low E to 1.9mm, and on the high E 1.6mm. I always go a little bit higher on a drop tuned and thicker stringed guitar. The nut slots are cut as low as I can get them, just about, without them ringing or buzzing. The guitar is beautiful, it plays fantastic, it looks even better. I know Connor is going to be absolutely pleased as punch when he gets this. Everything's been done, everything's been tightened, intonation's been done, complete setup. You want to check what goes on a complete setup, £50 player setup, it's everything you can think of. All the nuts are tightened on everything, on the tuners, the strap pins. I'll do the intonation, I'll retune, I'll cut the nut, I'll polish the frets, I'll oil the fingerboard, everything will be checked, the electrics will be checked, the pickup height will be changed. That is just in a player setup. We'll also set the relief on the necks, get the truss rods set all correctly. That is what a player setup is. Anything extra like fretwork or electrics, it goes to an intensive setup, which is an extra £25. But anyway, end of the day, he was going to pay 75 quid for this work. It's now going to cost him 60. So how is that? I'm sure he's going to be pleased as punch when he picks this up. So that is this one done, and I'm going to move on to the next one. So, fret friends, this is me, Victor Christian, signing off. I am your fret friend. You want anything doing, check my webpage at facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I'm Victor Christian. I'm ready to go. So as always, fret friends, be good to each other, and I will see you soon.